I played for Tampa. We're like this. And you start waiting for the coach to get fired because you know what's going to happen, and you get paralyzed and you stop playing until it does. If Anaheim gets to that point, and they're probably getting somewhere close to it despite a pretty solid roster, if you want to salvage the season, you got to go now. We never want anyone to lose their job, right?
No.
Carlisle's been a good coach for a long time in the NHL, but if you want to salvage the season, if the team is checked out, and that's where GM has to have a real finger on the pulse of what is happening in that room, because you can't trade everyone. You can't trade 8 guys. It's just not possible. Something's got to give here. That's Detroit, not one of the best teams in the league, and they put up a pretty quiet effort, desperation you're talking about.
Yeah, and when a coach does get fired, and I have been on those teams, and it's horrible. It's a terrible feeling because it's on everyone. It is not just the coach. It's on the players more than the coach, I would say, because they're the ones that have quit on him. They're the ones that have stopped listening. And right now, Anaheim just, I don't know what to say. That last goal just kind of sums up
where they're at. That whole third period.
That was awful.
Went from leading 1-0 in this game to losing.
And you got a goalie that will give you a chance to win.
John Gibson's been incredible.
Make them beat them. Don't give them tips and backdoors and great opportunities because he's been so good.
All right, so let's set the scene here. Winless.
All right, where are we at?
12 straight now. But you look at the number, and they've got 47 points. 28 teams in NHL history have gone winless in at least 11 straight games, which Anaheim has been there, and still have reached the playoffs. The last to do so, 1998-99, the Flyers. Does this team, the way it's put together right now, still have the pieces there to make that kind of push? Because you look, 47 points, and they are well within striking distance out west right now with kind of how down that wild card spot is. What do you think?
Yes.
Do we need a wholesale
But they've
change?
got to do it now. It's got to happen now. The desperation, the change, whatever move is going to have to make, they can't wait much longer. They can't wait a week. They can't wait 2 weeks and just kind of hopefully see something. They need a drastic change, and they need it now. If it wasn't the time a few days ago, it's time.
They have the pieces because they have a goalie. First thing you need is a goaltender. They have some pretty nice players in the back end. Cam Fowler's a good player. Lindholm's a good player. Manson's a good player. They may not be playing as well as they can, but they are good players. Up front, they have some holes. There's no doubt about it. They've gotten a little bit older. They've gotten a little bit slower. They need some reinforcements, but they're good enough because they're not battling great teams around them. Every team around them has some issues as well. That's why they're all tied together. The fact that you can go 12 games without a win,
winless,
and still be in the playoff hunt, I mean, I guess that says how well they played early with their goaltenders carrying the bulk of that load and how much of an opportunity this is that it is still salvageable. This season and the playoffs, we have to remember for Anaheim, a franchise like Anaheim, playoffs matter even more to them because financially, the home playoff dates impact their bottom line. So I think, their motivation to make the playoffs and how teams approach the deadline and what they're going to do, there are multiple factors that influence that. Finance is part of that for Anaheim.